up the world, it's a brand new flow. Stories are brewing with Joe. Pull up a seat, let your truth unfold. Real talk, real hearts, real souls. It's coffee and conversations with Joe, where your voice has room to grow. No judgment, just love that flows. Coffee and conversation.
And y'all, this is a brand new day on Coffee and Conversations. And Joe, it's not a brand new show, but it's a brand new day because today is the day I launched. I promised y'all, I told you. Did I not tell you that I'm going to get my cup of coffee? Yeah, the Cup of Joe is in the house today, baby. We're live at the Filter Coffee Parlor. And today is Cup of Joe Day. Yes, I'm giving myself my own day. But right here in Birmingham, Alabama, man, I want to thank Jeremy Kirkwood and the team here at Filter Coffee Parlor. They made this all come true for your boy. Today, we're launching my Cup of Joe. So if you guys come down today, it's live. Right after the show, we're having an event where we're doing the Cup of Joe. And it's a healthy, smooth taste from your boy. You know what I'm saying? So come on in. Yeah, my picture's up in here. Y'all just gonna come see the thing. And I had to celebrate this day with one of my dear friends because he coming to pray for your boy because he said, I still need prayer. Pastor Doug Taylor's in the building, y'all. Okay? His church is called Rebirth for a reason because he's been trying to give birth to your boy and bring him back to church. We're working on it.
No, we working.
But we got so much to get into the show today, man. I am super excited. But come on down, y'all, if y'all got time. My goal today is to come down to, and my stuff gonna be here, continuously. Okay. But come on down and get you a cup of Joe here at Filter Coffee Parlor. But if you guys don't have time for that, we do have the virtual cup. And the virtual cup of Joe, you guys can go to the to our page and they'll put it up on there how you can contact us. A virtual cup of Joe, $7. And what that is we use that money because each and every month we give $100 to a woman that has lost her job that may be in need. So that virtual cup of Joe, what we're doing is actually my cup of Joe is going to be supporting and empowering women. Okay, that's what this is all about, supporting and empowerment. That is why I have one of the best coffee things out there in the world. It's healthy, it's smooth, and it empowers. But other than that, man, I got to get to my guest today. What can I say about this guy? One of the coolest pastors. There's a lot of cool pastors let me say this. There's a lot of cool pastors in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay? All y'all. But this one here I've been doing for a long time, man. Whenever I call him, he picks up the phone. Whenever he sees me around, he'll stop what he's doing in the middle of the street and say, "Hey man, what's up?" He's been on here, he's doing the podcast. He'll walk by, he'll stick his head in. And it's hard to get him because he's very busy, because he's in the thing of building this huge, humongous church that he's doing, right? He's giving rebirth to rebirth, and we're super proud of him. But I'm happy to have him on the show today on my special day, my good friend, Doug Taylor.
My man.
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you like this cup of Joe?
First off, the cup of Joe. The cup of Joe is doing it.
You like it?
I caught how you put that in. It's healthy and it's smooth and it's empowering.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to be humble, but what he said outside is it's humble, it's smooth and empowering, just like your boy.
Yeah.
So it's the cup of Joe because it embodies who you are. So
man, I appreciate
congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm super excited. When I was out working out this morning, I was on the doing the treadmill. I was on my elliptical machine this morning, and I was just sitting there thinking, how blessed I am. Right? I'm up in my house this morning, and I'm like, I'm getting ready to go do my podcast.
Yeah.
With a lunch where I'm going to be featured at a coffee shop, where I had an idea 2 years ago to launch a podcast. Right. Never knowing that when 2 years later, I'm going to have my own coffee, my signature coffee, in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right. And you walk in, you see a picture of me now and a cup of Joe. Bruh.
Yeah.
Ain't he good?
Absolutely. Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Every day and every time. Amen. Hallelujah. And I'm still trying to get on the morning bench press. How things been going with you?
It's going great, man. Busy. Great stuff. Great for, as you said, just looking back and seeing things that the guys doing, seeing things that have developed that really had no idea. When we started business, it was just to support people, serve people, solve problems.
Right.
And through the midst of that, God just evolved it and added to it, and we've just been enjoying the journey. I'm glad to be on it, man.
So how the wifey doing?
She's doing great, man.
Okay.
She's doing great.
Still putting up with you?
Yeah. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
I'm here. You was telling me earlier how that was going.
Yeah, I'm a lot of work.
So let me ask you. So I know you're doing you getting ready to, you're working on this new church rebirth.
Uh-huh.
Right? So how's that going for us? The construction, getting everything going.
Yeah. So we're knee deep in it, man. We had some purchased this new facility in October 2024. I
Right.
mentioned we had some vandalism
Mhm.
that delayed our progress,
Mhm.
but my apostle makes a statement that every delay is in your favor.
Mhm.
And I think that's important to grasp. When things take longer than you desire,
Mhm.
it's because God is putting something together that you had no idea.
Mm.
You know, you even made a statement earlier just about looking back and seeing how things change.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we live life forward, but
Mhm.
we understand it in reverse. So we look back and see why certain things happen. And so, you know, with all that being said, I'm looking to see how God is developing His plan, how it's rolling, how things are working out better than I expected. And so take a little bit longer, but it's bigger than my comfort. So
Mm.
our hope is that we can be in the building. We'll be 25 years old in 2026 in April.
Wow.
So our prayer is, our hope is that we can be in the new building for our 25th anniversary.
Wow. Congratulations on everything. You know,
Yeah.
I know it takes, you know, it don't work in our time. They always say work what?
It is time.
In his time.
Absolutely.
I want to go here with you today, Pascal. People who know your story, we you know we're not going to go back through, you know, all that stuff there. I want to talk about marriage. We'll talk about religion today.
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about religion first because so much is going on in society,
Uh-huh.
Pastor. Is God still prevalent in conversation when people are going through tough times? And are people coming to church and believing more because of tough times, or are people straying away from the church because of tough times?
I think people are leaning more into God.
Mhm.
And it may not always be, you know, people aligning with a church, even though I believe everybody should align with the church. But in times like this, I tell people all the time, every person at some point is going to come into contact with a problem that only God-sized power can solve.
Mhm.
And so situations like what we've been going through the past, I mean, really literally forever. So in the last 45, 50 days have been challenging, but life is always challenging.
Right.
And so life is always sending people to a place of realizing I need God,
Mhm.
you know? And so, yeah, there is when I hear people talk about the church is dying, and I'm like, no, the church ain't dying. The church can't die.
Okay.
You know, church can't
So are
die.
more people coming to church, or are they doing, you know, the bedside Baptist watching church on TV?
So since pandemic, there's a large percentage of people, I think, across the world, you know, that have gotten comfortable with online viewing. I personally think it's a benefit to being, you know, in the building for connection so that you can help other people.
Right.
But there's quite a few people, you know, who only do online, you know. You know, somebody asked me, do you have to be at a church to be saved? And I'm like, you don't have to be at a church to be saved. But when you're not at a church, I think you're being selfish, because there are some things that people need from you that they don't get when you're streaming online. You're online, you
Right.
good,
Right.
but somebody needs to know you. So
I guess I'm selfish because I ain't sitting in no. I haven't. You know, I watch it on TV sometimes.
Yeah.
I pray all the time.
Yeah.
But I do not attend church, so I think I'm one of the selfish ones.
Yeah, you should come visit my church.
I have to now.
You have to,
because you came on my show twice.
You said it online.
Yeah.
Put in the chat.
Okay.
Y'all should screenshot this, that he's obligated to come visit church once.
I got to come now because you came to my show twice and I haven't showed the show once.
Well, I mean, but you did give me a great couple jokes.
I do appreciate that.
That's right.
So let me actually go here though, because when we're talking about religion in today's society, how prevalent is it when it's, you know, because a lot of men right now are looking for marriage or looking for a relationship. Women are looking for marriage, looking for relationships. How prevalent right now is when it comes to the dating world, the marriage world, and God? Is God in this thing? Because people always say, no, there ain't no good men out there. Right? There ain't no good women out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the streets are the streets.
Yeah.
Right? And I know you hear this all the time. But the people in the church, those are the people that, you know, that's supposed to be who they're supposed to be. But now when I look at the world, I think God is bigger than inside of any different church.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
So how do we sit down and look at the world now and say that God is in everything, no matter what we see?
So The fact is, because God created everything,
Mhm.
He is in everything.
Right.
You know, and He created everything with an intentional design.
Mhm.
There's a reason why you and I, different ages, different neighborhoods, have 206 bones in our bodies,
Mhm.
because God created the design of what it takes for a human being to function properly. Everything God designed, He designed it to work. And what that means is, without His input, it's highly possible and likely that I'm mismanaging something because I don't know how it's intended to operate. So one of the problems happening is with dysfunction. You can get used to dysfunction. You know, right now I'm doing physical therapy. I had had to have a knee procedure about 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I have to go to physical therapy. Didn't want to go. Don't want to go. And what the physical therapist told me was, he said, the problems you're having now is because you accommodated pain and you allowed dysfunction to be a part of your life. And I realized that I'm 53 years old.
Mhm.
Just because I've had possession of my body for 53 years,
Mhm.
don't mean I know what to do with it.
I like that.
As people think, because it's mine, because I own it,
Mhm.
I understand it. I
Mhm.
don't. And so I created functional dysfunction in my life, trying to avoid certain issues and accommodate some stuff. And only until I get back to somebody who knows the original design,
Mhm.
that can help me tweak it and function like it's supposed to, always gonna be dysfunctional.
I had someone knew you was coming on today, and so they asked me to ask you this question.
Okay.
Okay. It was a female.
Okay.
And her question to you is this here. Are there more women getting a divorce than getting married these days?
That would be hard to say. I have not. I haven't done a study. I haven't done a study on that. Get statistics to know. I don't. I couldn't say.
And the other part of the question she wanted me to ask you was this here. She said, so right now, 2025,
Mhm.
she's divorced with 2 kids.
Mhm.
She said, what should she be looking for at this stage in her life? Right? Her kids are, I think, 15 and 18. And she said, what she's looking for, she don't think is out there. Right? And she said, so ask Pastor, right? How can I find me that God-fearing man that I'm looking for?
Okay.
And because this is her words. He's not in my church.
So I think a couple of things.
Okay.
I don't, and I'm glad I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So I can just answer honestly. I think when she asked what she be looking for,
Mhm.
I think the first thing she should be looking for is her real identity. Because if she shaped her identity off of a former marriage
Mhm.
or off of being a mother,
Mhm.
again, her view of herself may be wrong. And so if there are other components of who she is,
Mhm.
and she's not mastered who she's really designed to be, and she's
Mhm.
still trying to be who she was, she's gonna look for somebody who fits her past, not her present, or her future.
Okay.
So I think the first thing is she should be looking for, who am I, and who do I intend to be,
Mhm.
right? Other thing is, when I talk to people about dating and who they want, I always say you have to become what you want to attract. So what that means is, I hear people say all the time, I want a man or a woman with this and this washboard abs and all that stuff. And I'm like, but you don't go to the gym. And you want somebody who makes 6 figures and all that stuff, but you got bad credit. You don't manage your finances. So you got to become what you want to attract.
Pastor, you stepping in some muddy waters there.
I mean, it's just the truth.
Okay, so are you saying if the dude is 6-figure, the woman should at least be somewhere meeting that or close to it?
I don't think you have to be. I don't think you have to meet that, but I do think it is a little obtuse to demand somebody.
Not obtuse.
Yeah.
I like that
It's
word.
a lot obtuse to demand somebody come into your life with criteria and standards that you don't have for yourself.
I see. I'm with you, Pastor. Pastor, we on the same page.
So even when it comes to me and my wife, there's
Mhm.
certain things that I expect of her,
Mhm.
and she expects of me. So I don't have a double standard. I want you to be this, this, and this,
Mhm.
and I don't want to be that for you.
Right.
It's compatibility, it's capacity, and so I don't think. And here's the other thing too, bro. really boils down to even she has to determine what's critical for her
Mhm.
in a relationship.
Mm.
You have some people that think what's critical is I need you to make all this money, I need you to do this. Some ladies say, I want your protection. I want you to be a great father. I want
Mhm.
you to be this. And so I think the problem comes in when society and social media tells men or women
Mhm.
what their partner needs to be. You got to
Mm.
determine what you need out of life. You know,
Mm.
like the biggest value, several baggage my wife brings for me is not how much money she makes. It is she's a wonderful mother.
Mhm.
You know, she makes my life easy, right? Like I do a bunch of stuff. I pastor church, I run a nonprofit, I got, you know, multiple businesses, you know,
Mhm.
I was in the bed last night, 11 o'clock on my laptop working. Well, she coupled up next to me, she went to sleep. She ain't like, oh, you need to get off the laptop, blah, blah, blah. Now I don't do it every night,
Mhm.
but she knows that's part of my program.
Mhm.
And I need somebody who understands I'm driven. I got goals. I mean, I work.
Mhm.
And so she makes it easy for me to be me without guilt.
Mm.
That's some of the things that I think you have to look for. What's critical to your success, not just what's the cookie cut recipe. Cup of Joe is not what was on the menu.
Right.
This came from you.
Right.
I got to know what is my cup of Joe.
Mm. I like the way you put that. I like the way you put that.
You know, I talk for a living.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. But let's go here because, you know, for me, looking for me in general, okay?
Mhm.
I'm single.
Mhm.
Been divorced since 2019.
Mhm.
I have certain criteria that I want as a woman pastor. And I'm very tough.
Mhm.
And I'm very upfront. So I probably won't be getting married no time soon. However, am I wrong for understanding my own cup of Joe?
No, that's healthy.
You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes when I am talking to women, right? And women gonna probably gonna say he of course Pastor gonna agree because he's a man. But when I'm speaking with women, I speak my truth,
Sure.
right? It's, you know, I tell you that I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
Uh-huh.
Well, to women that translate to you want to play, right? But that's not true.
Right.
I'm just not looking for a relationship the
Sure.
way you want to. So I'm not going to pursue you the way you think I should be pursuing you
Right.
at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think sometimes, tell me, am I wrong on this, Pastor? I think women sometimes want you to court them because they want to be courted. I don't want to court you because I don't know you like that. And so for me in the beginning,
Let me think about that. I don't want to court you because I don't know. Okay, I got you.
and because what I'm saying is, I want to pursue you, but let me pursue you as a friend.
Absolutely,
Right.
1000%.
I don't want to pursue you in the manner that I need to call you and say good morning, dude, if I miss you, or I'm thinking about
Because
you.
we ain't there yet.
Because I don't know you to even do that.
Sure.
But there are guys out there doing that, you know what I'm saying, have them skip past the friendship part of it and just trying to get at her, right? And trying to buy her attention or whatever that is for me.
Sure.
I'm a grown man now.
Yeah.
I'm mature. I got time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush.
Sure.
Because don't take this the wrong way, Pastor, but when I say if I'm going to get that, that's going to happen. That's the bonus. But at the end of the day, when you look at it from the standpoint of a man, if you get that and you ain't the right thing, you're going to have a whole slew of problems.
Yeah.
So me, now, I take my time.
Absolutely.
Right? What's your name? Hey, how you doing? I call you every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call. I may call you maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. Well, you're not interested. Not interested the way you want me to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I get bored.
Mhm.
Right? And my mind is focused on being Mr. Coffee, selling a cup of Joe.
Sure.
I am not focused on what you did today, what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I'm gonna ask you this question here. I have told myself for the next 2 years, I'm not looking for that because I'm not prepared. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a space to entertain nobody's daughter.
You got to respect that.
Yeah. Am I wrong for that?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think you'd be wrong if you gave a false representation. I'm, you know, whether or not I agree with it or not, whether or not anybody else agrees with it, that's their choice.
Right.
Whether or not they agree. But I say all the time, if I'm honest, I believe you can respect me for being honest, even if you disagree.
Right.
You know, and the thing about it is, if I'm letting you know that that's not what I'm on, you know, it's casual, we'll kick it, we'll go, you know, go to coffee, then that's fine. I think the problem is when guys or ladies go into a relationship or go into the courting phase and not being honest about what your expectations are. But there could be some ladies who be like, good, I don't want you to call me every day.
And let me ask you this question, because this is me, honestly.
Mhm.
I say, let's keep sex off the table.
Sex always complicates things.
You know what I'm saying? So if I take sex off the table, just let me be me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't try to do no sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
I don't send you no freaky text or nothing like that, right? Let me get to know you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? In my way, and you get to know me in your way.
Right.
For me, because now you know I'm not trying to pursue, I'm not going to ask you for no money. I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask you to help me out on my bills.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not trying to pursue your cookie.
Yeah.
Right? So
We're just getting to know each other. And
we're
then
just
see what happens.
getting to know each
Yeah.
other, because I think sometimes, and I'm very, 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 very guilty of going after the prize.
Yeah.
Because as a man, I'm a hunter. So once I see what I want,
Yeah.
I'm doing whatever I need to do to go get what I want, not paying attention to the process that I'm actually putting myself in
Sure.
and the mental state that I took her through.
Yeah.
And now that I've realized this, Pastor, and it's crazy, I know now I've hurt many women
Mhm.
because I hunted the wrong thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
And so now I have a thing for myself that I don't want to hurt nobody else's daughter. I have
Right.
2 daughters.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I want to, if I'm going to love somebody's daughter at some day point in my life, I want to make sure I love you.
Uh-huh.
And I got the space and the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Now I don't. And
Well, but again, that's just being honest.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have capacity for this right now.
Right.
You know, and I've got too much. Like, honestly, the truth is, you dating Couple Joe.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend is this podcast.
yes.
So, you know, you've got to fit in this mold.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you're second, but this is another obligation. It'll be no different. You know, if somebody has kids,
Mhm.
I can't just be a boyfriend. I can't just be a girlfriend.
Mhm.
I gotta be a mother and a boy and a girlfriend. I gotta be a father and a boyfriend. I can't turn this off just to do that.
Mm. And hopefully that people listen to this podcast this morning, sitting in this situation, is helping them out. I want to go here with you though, Pastor.
Mhm.
When you're married, because I fell into this trap,
Mhm.
and the
I
person
feel it.
you
I see
married,
where they go. Yeah.
the person you married, right?
Mhm.
Y'all begin to evolve.
Mhm.
And you wake up one morning,
Mhm.
and the person you're married is not the person that you married, because y'all have evolved.
Mhm.
Your thoughts and things have changed.
Mhm.
And you don't know how to talk to your mate anymore. Now y'all are in a space where y'all are arguing more often than having conversations now.
Uh-huh.
How do you navigate that tough situation? Because I'm quite sure you've been through that part where, okay, what you promised, now you see something different and you're on a different track, or she did something, she's on a different track. When you get into those crossroads of marriage,
Uh-huh.
how do you navigate those without divorce? Because most times people like, I'm out, I'm done with this, I'm not going to do this. Counseling don't work for me.
Sure. Well, I think the most prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Okay.
So what that means is, as I'm evolving, if we're married, we're one, I owe it to you to share my evolutionary process. A lot of times what happens is I'm changing and I don't tell you about it. Right.
But how do I tell you that I'm changing when I done made you a promise that this is what we were supposed to be doing? You believed in that, and the trajectory is completely different.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just like we talked about earlier, just being honest about what's in me and what's going on with me. My wife and I met, I wasn't thinking about preaching. I wasn't thinking about pastoring no church. I never wanted to pastor no church. When we married, when we started dating, I was in the streets. She was like, I found me a thug dude, and I was like, that's what you want. Later on, the Lord began to start working in my life, and I'm having conversations, about what's happening in me. She was, and what I found is some of my conversation about what was happening in me caused her to start being more open to what God would do with her. Things that God was doing in her, she talked about it, and it goes back to being honest and transparent with the people I'm with. And so I'm saying all that happens up front. The Bible talks about Adam and Eve, they were naked and not ashamed. What it means is I need to be in a scenario that I could be naked and not be judged about my issues, because we're different. If I tell you, you got this, I got that, and you make fun of it, then I'm gonna cover myself again. So I think in advance, it's helpful to be honest about, hey, here's what happened. My wife and I have always been, because here's the thing too, bro. What happens is we teach this principle called emotional needs.
Okay.
Right? and it's a great tool called the emotional needs questionnaire.
Mhm.
And you and your spouse go through and you determine what are things that make you feel fulfilled.
Mhm.
That when you don't get them, you feel deflated. When you get them, you feel inflated. And so you go through and list what those things are. Maybe words of affirmation. It may be romance and intimacy. It could be touch. It could be domestic support. All those things. What happens is I need to know what my spouse values,
Mhm.
right? And support them in what matters to them. But here's the thing: my wife and I, we go back and we've been married 20 plus years. We still go back and now evaluate. Hey, at this phase of life, this matters more to me, right?
Mhm.
My kid, my son and daughter are 24 and 28, and so I went through a period of time in my young days. What mattered most is, hey, let's be intimate. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to bed. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
I'm young in my 20s. Now in my 50s, that's still important, but the other things are more important. I appreciate when you say thank you. I appreciate when you tell me, I appreciate you working hard. But I told her that. I was like, this is what really matters to me right now,
Mhm.
and this is what I need.
What I'm hearing you saying, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody who came out to the podcast. We got Clarissa, she's in the building. We got Monique and her husband in the building. What's going on, y'all, man? We got a lot of folks out here
What's up,
watching the podcast today. We got Uncle Boss, we got Dads in the building, man. They're all here for the Cup of Joe. So this is a very special day, man.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everybody being here today. What you're saying is very important because there are people right now in their marriage, right? And times are tight.
Mhm.
Money is, and when money get funny,
Mhm.
the honey get funny too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then I think you truly find out, do you love each other or were you in it for the wrong reasons?
Uh-huh.
Meaning that did you marry him for this? And now that that's gone,
Right.
now
Yeah.
you feel the feelings have changed because now you're putting more and more pressure on him or he's putting more pressure on her, right?
Mhm.
How do we find? Let me ask you this. Let's back that up. How did you get through your tough times, Pastor, in your marriage? Because for you to be able to speak on it, come from a perspective of a religion, how did you get through your tough times?
Mhm.
And was there ever a time that you yourself as a pastor wanted to divorce your wife?
Oh yeah. Neither one of us wanted to be married early on in that marriage. I think like the second, third year,
Mhm.
both of us was like, you go home to your mom, you go home. I mean, we was ready to bust up. We weren't happy. When we dated, we were best friends.
Mhm.
During this time, we didn't like each other. Money was tight. Walls went up. She credit was bad. It was just communication was bad, sex was bad, everything was bad.
Right.
Well, from a religious standpoint, I realized a couple of things for me. When I was 16 years old, I
Mhm.
told God, I didn't meet my wife till my early 20s. I told God when I finally married, I said, I ain't rushing, but when I finally married, I'm gonna be a great husband. I'm never gonna divorce my wife. I'm going to be a great father. When I have a son, I'm gonna name him Miles Alexander Taylor at 16. I made a promise to God at 16 before I met my wife. So when I met her, she got the overflow of my commitment to my promise to God.
Mm.
So it wasn't even about her because I told God I was going to be a great husband before I knew she existed. So my commitment to him is what drove me to put in the work, right? So from a religious standpoint, other thing too is what happened through our hard times is me as the man,
Mhm.
I took ownership of the areas that I failed us. I told her, I told her last night. When here's part of what happened too. We were in financial trouble and I hid it. I would hustle home, I would hide all the
We
mail,
always do, men do.
and that became a problem.
Yeah.
And
So
so
first thing they said, why didn't you tell me?
why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to
Fix it.
cover
Yeah.
and hide.
Mhm.
And I didn't give her the opportunity to be a partner in that situation. She was like, I could have cut back on some spending had you told me that. I could have earned this extra money had you told me, but you took this on your own shoulders and you put a burden and a weight on yourself. And that's why I was overwhelmed because it was supposed to be shared. So I had to be honest about where we were. And then I told her one day, I said, I got us in this situation, but I'm gonna get us out. And my exact words were close to 27 years ago was, if you stick with me, I'll make it worth your while. I said, I'm gonna get us out. And I told her, I said, I got us in this. I didn't exercise the discipline that I should have. I didn't tell you no when I should have. I said yes because I wanted, sex that night, or I didn't want you to have your mouth poked out. I didn't want you to be disappointed.
Right.
And to realize disappointment part of life, and I wasn't clear on what my vision was for my future. My vision was pay bills for the end of the month.
Right.
And so I had to tell her, I was like, hey, I messed us up. It's on me. But I'm gonna get us out of it. If you stick with me, I'll make it worth your while. And so today, I
She's still with you 27 years later.
And she said, I made it worth a while. She can get anything she wants.
So there's a couple places we can go with this, but I want to go right here because most men, we proud as hell, Pastor.
Absolutely.
We're not finna say what you said. We're not finna do what you did. We're not going, and you know what I'm saying? Because I was where you were. And by the time she found out and the realization came, right, we was in a really bad spot. And she didn't want to hear no more. You know what I'm saying? And you totally understand that. But I think you had the conviction and you said something that I didn't have. There's never been a list where I said I'm gonna be a happy married man. I got plenty lists. I got plenty goals that said I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna do all these grandiose things with the world, but there's not one list that said I'm gonna be the best father in the world. There's not one goal that I said I'm gonna be the best husband in the world. And that's what when I got this divorce the second time, I realized I put everything on my list besides me saying that I'm going to be the husband that I need, because in my mind I already knew, I felt that I knew, Pastor, that I knew what I was supposed to do. But I didn't write it down.
Very good.
I didn't write it down, Pastor. And it didn't hit me until everything was gone. And you're looking back to, you packing up stuff. And you're looking at these lists that you've seen, and you're gonna buy the house here, and you're gonna take the family on vacation here. And you, on hers, I found this thing where she said, my husband and me, being the kids, right? This. I looked at mine. Mine had nothing about family stuff. It was family things. But it wasn't the husband, dad part that I needed to have on there. Because I took it for granted that this is the bad part that I have to take accountability. You know who I am. You know what I do. I didn't write it down, Pastor.
The mistake we make is we really don't listen. And that's not a man thing. That's an individual thing. Most times we really don't listen to our partners, because when people say, I don't know what's wrong, it's like, no, they told you what was wrong. They told you, you just ignored it. So I'm a person of faith, obviously pastor. What helped me is one of the reasons why I told you I never wanted to be a pastor, but in my early 20s, I realized that I could base my whole life on that scripture. So I fell in love with scripture before I fell in love with pastor, right? Because what I saw is, and I say it all the time, the Bible is the number one most complete source of whole life goodness principles. The Bible is the number one most complete source of whole life goodness principles, meaning anything I need to know about how to be a successful father, business owner, husband, person, son, manage my finances, is all in the scripture. I stumbled across 1 Corinthians 7, and these are things that helped me, I pray, become a better husband. I saw in the scripture says that the job of a husband is to do the things that please his wife. The job of a wife is to do the things that please her husband. When I realized that my job as a husband was not to pay bills, that's overflow. My job was to do the things that please her. And if making sure that lights are on pleases her, that's my job. If helping her with the kids pleases her, that's my job. And when and I respect the fact that where you are, because I don't think anybody needs to go into a marriage if they're not ready to sacrifice their life for the well-being of somebody else. Marriage is one of the most selfless things you can ever do. And most people are married for themselves, not for the other person.
I think I married for myself for her, but I wasn't the man I needed to be for her. Because what you just said,
Yeah.
none of that was there.
And it's not
None of
natural.
that.
Somebody has to teach that to us.
None
have
of,
to do-
none,
we have to
none-
respect.
none- that part for me, and especially my second marriage, I thought I was gonna get it right because you know when you did the first one, you're like, I get married again,
Yeah.
and get divorced no more.
Right.
I
But if I'm the
screwed-
same dude, if I say got the same ideas, it's gonna be the
Pastor,
same.
I
thing.
screwed it up the second time. You know, and I think a lot of men and women sit in the same position. And what would you say to the people? Because what I've realized, if you get married 2 or 3 times, right, the common denominator is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So I had to realize I can point out my mate's problem, but I picked the person, and the common denominator is still me.
Sure.
So I think for me, learning and understanding and getting closer to God in my own way.
Mhm.
Um,
It's gonna get even better when you come out my church.
I'm coming, Pastor. I
That's
promise
right.
I'm coming. Number one, I had to humble myself.
Mhm.
That's tough for me to do.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and when I say humble myself, I don't, it's different for me, Pastor.
Mhm.
And I like having this conversation with you because I was like I'm sitting on your couch in your church, right? Being counseled by
Yeah.
you. But you know, when I say humble myself, it was understanding truly where blessings come from and not just say you got it.
Yeah.
I was humble because everything was taken.
Wow.
He gave me a lot.
Mhm.
You know, I was blessed with successful business and made money, had nice cars, motorcycles, women, all that good stuff. And I always said, thank God. Went to church, you know, gave my tithes, but I never understood. I don't think I had the wherewithal.
Yeah.
Of what that truly meant,
Sure.
of how I got there.
Mhm.
Because it was me. And
Yeah.
I was rolling fast and everything was happening. And
Yeah.
this is where it's supposed to be because I put in the work.
Yeah.
And then I hit a brick wall.
Hmm.
Because where I wanted to go, I said, God, remove the stuff from my life and the things from my life that don't need to be there.
That's a tough prayer.
I didn't know it was, Pastor. I should have been in your church.
She said, hey, listen.
I should listen.
Better late than never.
Because man, when I said those things,
Yeah.
I'm glad it's a cup of Joe today here at the Coffee Pot. Because when I say God gave me everything back, but
Wow.
He took everything from me,
Yeah.
I lost everything.
Wow.
And when you say take away the things and the people, I had in my mind what I wanted Him to take away and who I needed. Who I needed Him to move. That's my bad. Don't worry
See
about it.
that? There you go.
Yeah. Who I want Him to remove, right?
Hey, you can't be spilling a cup of dough, man.
I know, man. I'm spending all my stuff on the floor here in the middle of the podcast. But
That's smooth, healthy, and beautiful right there, man. Power.
but I realized well, He showed me a couple of things. It was a reality check.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of people listen to the show today. There are people in your life, you're in rooms and circles that you don't need to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
And the prayer that I prayed is a dangerous prayer, but I think it's a prayer necessary.
Sure.
Remove the things and the people in your life that don't need to be there.
Absolutely.
But don't be surprised of the things and the people that He removed from your life.
Sure.
Because when He removed them, you can be like, why were they removed?
Uh-huh.
But then I can promise you this, Pastor. When it happened to me,
Mhm.
that was a weight lifted off my shoulder
Mhm.
that I didn't know that I had.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
started to see everything clearly.
Sure.
And things started to flow a lot easier.
Uh-huh.
And it's easy to flow when you're broken at the bottom. You know what I mean? And I felt that I could do it again now because now when He took it, He started sending you to the door, this person to the door,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
All you got to do now is put the work in and make sure you put me first.
Sure.
He didn't say it,
Yeah.
but it came out of my mouth
That's big.
because I started to understand because I knew that person that walked through the door at that time, it had to be him because
Sure.
I didn't do anything at that point. So when certain people start walking through the door and certain things start happening, like I was about to lose my radio show one time. I've told the story many times on air. And a friend of mine walked through the door with just the amount of money that I need to pay that bill because the next day I was going to have to tell him I couldn't pay the bill and I was going to be off air.
Wow.
That wasn't me.
Wow.
I exacerbated everything.
Yeah.
That was it. It was times like that, like for when my career, and God has showed me everything. Like today with this coffee, I had told Nephi when we first started this show, I said I'm gonna get my own coffee. I'm gonna have my own signature coffee. It was a year. It was the beginning of the year. He was like, yeah, okay. Today,
Yeah.
Cup of Joe.
Cup
Right.
of Joe.
So, but he opens up the door for you,
Sure.
right? And for a heathen like me, a backslider,
Yeah.
a sinner, a liar, and him to take care of me,
Yeah.
the way he's taking care of me, and I can sit here and say that.
Sure.
I tell everybody, man, God is as strong today as he ever been.
Oh, all day.
You know
all
what I
day.
mean? But you have to believe and humble yourself, and you got to go through your own journey to get to him, though.
Sure. You know, I think what's important about that is, I mean, it's a dope commentary. When you talk about praying the prayer, God, take away whatever needs to be out of my life.
Mhm.
I really think, again, prevention. The prayer to pray before that is, God, show me what needs to get out and give me the strength to get rid of it. Because what happens is many times it's a strength issue, it's a resolve issue.
Mhm.
I know what I need to get rid of. I know the people that aren't beneficial for this level. And if I don't have, as you said, the wherewithal to redefine that relationship, I'll take people further than they should go. And what happens is that's a disservice to them. Because what happens is if I end the relationship or redefine it early enough, we can maintain our friendship. We can maintain the relationship, but just have different responsibilities.
Right.
And when I don't do that and give it up, God has to rip it away. It's easy to put something down than have something stripped away.
Yeah.
And many times God has to strip away what we won't put down.
Wow.
I know I've had people in my life and relationships that I knew that needed to be redefined. But because I was loyal, because I didn't want the confrontation, I just let it progress and it turned toxic. And we end up losing the relationship. We didn't have to lose the relationship. I should have had the courage to say, hey, I need to change this.
I want to go here before we get out of here, Pastor, because I think this is real good for people that are married. And with this holiday season coming up, how do married couples, or if you're dating, right? When you have a difference in family and your mate, how do you navigate that course? And I'm just saying, or if it's a mama saying something about the way you raise the kids, or your wife is not good friends with the mom or whatever, right? The tough relationships when you husband and wife, but that's your mom and your dad, your brother, your sister.
Sure.
Or that's her child and that's your child. Okay, let's get into this, right? How do you navigate those tough conversations? And what's most important for a married couple when you sit in those situations?
That's dope. Great question.
Right? What's the answer? Because you got mama, dad, sister, brother, cousin. She got a child, he got a child. You know what I'm saying? But then it's you and me.
Sure.
How do you navigate that? And I don't know if you can say what's the right answer, but how do men and women have that conversation and choose the right thing to try to make everybody happy?
Oh, it's see it all the time. Again, I go back to everything in my life. I take back to scripture.
Okay.
Scripture says when God made Adam and Eve, male and female, and he said, for this cause a man should leave his father's house, cleave to his wife, they'll be one flesh. What that means is my job is to, we even give the vow forsaking all others.
Okay.
What that means is my wife becomes, outside of God, the number one relationship in my life. Now that means my mother and father come second, because the Bible says you leave the house. Now, and that what it means is there's some things I learned in my father's house I got to be willing to throw away. There's some things that I learned, in my mother's house I got to be willing to throw away. And I'm going to put her, this is crazy. Hierarchy for me is God, my wife, my son and daughter, my job.
Okay.
Because what happens is many times couples I'm going to get back to the question. Couples put the kids ahead of the spouse.
True.
Which is flawed, because because the Bible says that you train up a child in the way that they should go, which means you spent 25 years focusing on somebody who's going to leave. And so when that son and daughter finds their husband or wife, now you in the house with somebody that you don't even know because you took things out of order. When it comes to forsaking all others, my conviction is my wife is my number one priority. And what it means is if my family has a problem with her, they have a problem with me. And I've seen it, said it, had hard conversations. I'm not going to subject my wife to your toxicity. And if you're going to mistreat her, I'm not coming. And you don't even have to love her. I love her, but you got to respect her. And I think everybody has to do that for their spouse. A wife has to do it for her husband. Husband has to do it for his wife. I'm not going to let
you're ruffling some feathers right now, right?
But it's the truth. It's the scripture. So how can I be the number one person in your life outside of God, and you make me suffer your parents' toxicity? Because you don't want me to say nothing to your mama. Because that's your mama. So it's better for you to tell your mother, don't talk to my husband like that, and keep me out of it, so I don't have to match aggression with aggression. You should be covering me. I shouldn't have to fight your family. You should, and it shouldn't be a fight, but if it's a fight, you should fight your family for me. Don't make me fight your family, because then you're going to be mad because of what I said to your sister and your brother.
And for me, I don't have a problem, because I think my wife is my wife. Because this is one thing I say. I know when I was growing up, my father never let anyone disrespect mama. But at some point in time, when they become the parents now and they got children, they think they can intersect in your life and say certain things. But when you look at them, they didn't allow anything to come between them.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think it's hypocritical.
Sure.
That some parents think that, they can intersect because that's my son or that's my daughter. No, sir.
Right.
That's my wife.
Absolutely.
So it's not wrong for a young man to tell his mom, your mom.
It's not only not wrong, it's right. It's what he should do. Mom, I love you. You cannot disrespect my wife. And the same thing happens.
But what if wives just don't like mama just for no reason though?
Well, so if I think you have to be very, very honest about what flaws each person brings to the table.
Okay.
Because it could be wife and mother. And if I'm the intermediary, I have to have that hard conversation.
Right.
I told my mother, you're not gonna disrespect her. And mom is not disrespect her. I need you.
Right.
Don't say that about my mother. Because if it were not for me, my mother would not know my wife. If it were not for me, my wife would not know my mother. So I'm the adjoining piece.
Wow.
I've got to referee both sides and keep the peace.
So what I'm hearing, Pastor, is pretty much on this podcast today, communication.
It's everything.
And what happens to men when we get married? Because we communicate less when we get married.
Sure.
We do more, but we communicate less. Why is that?
That's a loaded question. I think there's several components to it.
Okay.
One reason, and in no particular order, I think one of the reasons men communicate less is when I share my ideas, sometimes the wife doesn't honor that and they belittle my thoughts. And so if I expose myself and my ideas and you belittle them, I'm not going to share again. So that's one. Okay. I told you what my issue is.
Yeah.
Or I tell you my problem and then you weaponize it against me. So I'm not going to give you any more ammunition to use against me.
Right.
I think the other thing too is many times as men we internalize everything. And we put everything on our shoulder because we don't know how to communicate effectively. Sometimes we prideful. Don't want to tell our spouse that we're struggling. So I think it's several reasons why men don't communicate. And one of the big things is, bro, many of us have never seen healthy relationships. So we've not seen healthy conflict resolution. We've not seen negotiation. We saw dictatorship or manipulation. And so we reproducing that pattern. And so if you've never seen it, you can't reproduce it.
I agree with you on that. I totally agree with that because I think a lot of times that if you're my partner, we got to communicate not only in good times.
Oh, that.
We have to learn how to communicate in bad times.
Mhm.
And I think I know I probably still have a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
Not as much as I used to.
Sure.
But I do believe that a lot of couples, right? And people when you're going through, about to get married or you're married for years, you have a problem on communicating because of the comeback that someone may have on you, like you said.
Absolutely.
And I
Sure.
think a lot of times when I see now with successful marriages, I see marriages right now, just people, they're just in them. They're not, you're married because for the sake of being married, but you're not happy
Sure.
because you failed to communicate.
Right.
And so what would you say to young couples right now? And we have a beautiful couple that just got married in the audience today.
Messiah, my guy. Back when I used to have hair, Messiah used to cut me. It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. What would you say to newly married couples, people that are thinking about getting married?
Mhm.
Give me 3 keys, Pastor, for good marriage.
I give you 4.
Oh, okay.
I give you 4.
Okay.
The 3 critical keys
Mhm.
to any successful relationship, not just marriage.
Okay.
Any relationship. Number 1, and it's gonna sound crazy as a pastor, but
Mhm.
you ain't even got to be saved to do this. If you got the God factor, that makes it easier.
Mhm.
But even if you don't have God, if you do these 3 things, you'll work. Number 1, if you are focused on communicating,
Mhm.
just like we said, be willing to communicate, right? Work on your communication. Number 2, if you remain courteous to your spouse, don't ever mistreat them.
Mm.
Always got to think about, even though in my anger, I'm not going to be vicious.
Right.
If I work on my communication,
Mhm.
if I always be courteous, and then if I'm willing to change, we can be together forever.
I think the last one.
I got to be willing to change. It's just like this. It works in any relationship.
Yeah.
At your job, you have to work on communication.
Mhm.
You have to be always be courteous.
Mhm.
Okay, you got to overlook poor position. You can't come in and crash out.
Mhm.
But then number 3, got to be willing to change. If your supervisor says you come in late, I don't need to be like, well, traffic is this. I need to make the adjustment. And the last thing is, the 4th one is, I said every couple, you should get counseling first. You should get counseling, because what counseling does is puts pressure on problem areas in a controlled environment. And we can practice your issues before y'all in house together.
And I'm gonna say this, Pastor. I'm gonna add on to the counseling part. I think you should get counseling before, and you should continue counseling, right, into the marriage until you learn how to communicate with your spouse and you learn how to love your spouse.
Absolutely.
I think communication is very key, and I think a lot of times us as men, you can go through the counseling and say the right questions, but I don't think most men know how to be married. I'm just gonna be honest. I think most men, you feel your responsibility of what marriage is, but the communication piece, Pastor, I really do believe us as men, we don't know how to do very well. We communicate what we want to,
Yeah,
but I don't communicate to her emotion and to her soul.
sure.
For us verbally, my actions, me being who I am, the security and all that other stuff. Yeah, but me just actually I don't tell you as much as I love you as I did when I first met you. Right. I'm not sending you these honeydew, all these little different things and nice little things and trying to court you throughout the marriage.
Right.
We need, as men, I think we need to do better. We need to
Absolutely.
do better than that. You know what I mean?
1000%. And again, I think it's definitely men, because a lot of my ministry is to men. But I think it's everybody, bro.
Okay.
There's a selfish nature in all of us that we forget that my life is a service to the people around me. And I'm not just talking about marriage.
Right.
Our lives don't belong to us. They belong to other people.
Wow.
And so whenever we get selfish, focused on ourselves alone, we headed down the slippery slope.
Well, Pastor, where you gonna be at on Sunday? I appreciate you coming by. I know you got things you got to do today, and we got to go ahead and celebrate this Cup of Joe today. So, Pastor, go ahead and tell everybody where we're gonna be on Sunday. I won't be there this Sunday, but I'm coming.
Why you not gonna be there? What you doing this Sunday?
I'm working.
Working doing what?
I be at work. I got a job.
All right. I'm looking for you. No, so we're still in our current location, 700 23rd Avenue Northwest, in the Center Point area. We do a 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
I'm definitely gonna make the 11 o'clock service one of these Sundays.
Okay. Yeah. I have you out in an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. It's pretty cool, man. You ought to come by. Rebirth Christian Fellowship, I think, cool.
Is there hope for me, Pastor?
Absolutely. It's hope for everybody. No, man, you you don't give yourself enough credit, man. As long as we've been knowing each other,
Mhm.
I hear your conversation. We talk a lot about evolution and growth, and sometimes we're too close to a situation to see the progress.
Mhm.
I'm on the outside looking in. I'm say, bro, you're a great dude, man.
Thanks.
I see God working on you, and you're making great strides, and I'm just proud to be your friend, man.
Appreciate it, Pastor.
My God, love you, bro.
All right, love you too, man. All right, man. That's the one and only Pastor Doug. I paid him to say those things, y'all. Hey, yo, today is I made it my day today. It's a Cup of Joe day here right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Filter Coffee Party. I got a lot of people waiting on me. Y'all, I got to get out of here. If y'all enjoyed this conversation, share it out there. Follow us on social media. And also, remember, ladies, love you first. Have a great day.